start, Fazil. So, I mean, we show this, a lot of my friends that are in other cities, you know, Denver, Miami, you know, they talk about how big their system is. I actually have this on a business card and hand it out to them just to mess with them. But we're big. I mean, you can see how big it is. We are just getting, it seems to be getting bigger. We still have growth in Texas. We've opened back up. So I do the wastewater side, but we're almost pillared to the side of the water infrastructure. Go to the next one, Fazil. You can go on this one, Fazil. This is a good one. And
yeah,
this is how we're approaching the challenge we have, the long-term approach, and how, I guess it related to this all, even getting the universities involved and the hub and the contracting community, they were all severed. So I think that what Dr. Sanu and pretty much this whole concept was, what can we all start working together? So walk them through this, Fazil.
Basically, what this slide shows that how we are preparing ourselves in Houston Water for the future. And 2 of the 6 boxes we identified, 2 of them on the top, that is operations and planning, which is data-centric planning, and how together can work better along with academia, research organization, innovation hub, and other utilities that we are partnering with, and the contracting community itself. So that's how we are approaching to address the challenges that we are facing. And the goals are common goals for everybody. How can we be more efficient, resilient, sustainable, eventually to make better decisions every day and even up to long term.
Fazil, let me walk. I want to stay on this because I think it's pretty. So when I started here, we had operations. That was it. There were silos, not only within City Houston, but in the organization. So when I came into operations, I started working with Fazil, planning, looking at the big future, data, also getting other problem is. And from an operations standpoint, and Fazil and I've had this conversation, they're planning. It's up to operations to ask the question. That's what they don't want. Well, I'm just waiting for planning to give me something. Well, did you ask the daggum question? A lot of times they don't ask it. I go to Fazil and say, Fazil, I got this problem. What do you need? He'll say, well, this is what I can do. And then, of course, he puts a price tag on it. So when I came here, I would say we had a couple of contracts with Fazil, but now we probably have staff augmentation and projects and organization we have. I probably fund Fazil's group to about $12 million a year. So you have to ask them to get help. That was the first step. And then I think the other we started the Innovation Hub. We said we wanted to look at that. And then we got with Dr. Sanu, and we started working with Rice University. This whole process, I think, started, and if Dr. Sanu can tell you, is we really started pushing academic because we need, where's the new leaders coming from? Where's the new research coming? And I think we've accomplished that very well. We're working, we're doing a lot of samplings. We have 6 different universities working on collecting samples from COVID. We have 3 other pilot studies working with Howard University and different ones. So we got that. We've really got with the contract community in that we have a consent decree coming. A lot of folks were hired. That's a lot of we can't get personnel. So I think right now in Houston, there's over 100 engineering firms working for just wastewater. So and I say this all the time, you can't sit and wait. You have to go out and do it. So we think we've built this. So we've got everybody together on this. We haven't figured out what the hell we're going to do with everybody, but now we're going to give it a go. So I wanted to stay on that. The point being is you have to be proactive. You can't wait. In our industry, people send an email and I'll wait for an answer back. You got to knock on the door every day. Squeaky wheel. Go ahead, Fazil.
Okay, so this is kind of our data platform, how we are integrating all operational planning, regional, national, our own operational data. That's the platform architecture it looks like. So it's basically you're targeting data-centric asset management, risk-based asset management to make planning decisions and operational decisions at the same time. And currently, this next slide probably you can discuss how we are collecting data for all of our facilities that Houston Wastewater, we have 39 treatment plants, over 380 lift stations. We are basically collecting condition data for each and every asset that both water and wastewater facilities we have eventually, and it will be done sometime this year. Once it is done, then we'll integrate all those assets and make decisions from current to until 50 years. And this is where we need more research and help, predictability. We want to predict things, doing good work or not doing appropriate work, what it means in terms of risk and level of service. And based on that, we plan to make decisions for repair, rehab, replacement, and consolidation. This is kind of framework for that kind of platform. You want to add anything, Shannon? You are muted.
Can you go back to one slide? I just want to back one. So can you tell them how, no, one more forward. This one, can you just give us an update? Because Microsoft, we're working with them where the major platform is. We've made a lot of progress, Dr. Sanu, in the last 6 months. We're actually we're calling it the master cloud. Can you go just a quick on that, Fazal, how that?
Right. This is the platform which will receive data from all other databases. This is what Shannon is referring to as a master data lake. Currently, we're doing it AWS, but it will be eventually migrated to Azure. But that this would we are not moving data. Major data will be moving, but most of the data will be connected virtually with the data lakes to be able to access by any user, end user, to do the analytics and whatever we want to do.
And the reason I brought that up, this was a lot harder than we thought. And I think we're partnering with Microsoft to get, where you got to clean the data, you got to get it in a standardized form. This has been a hard part for us, but I think we've tackled it, and you do one at a time, because you can't do any predictive until you can get all the data in one location. We've learned that's the main. Now you'll get other platforms that this will feed to other platforms, but I think maybe we're 50% on building this super cloud, I guess we call it.
Yeah, we just began that process.
So that has been a monumental task, and if anybody's doing anything like us, we have a lot of data on shit not to do. We have a lot of that.
I think we have maybe a few more minutes. So to conclude this integration, this is the platform we are trying to build, integrating all the information. Basically, that platform should answer on a need based what we need in the utility, when we need, what we need, and how to, before we implement, what would be the plan that our capital projects who are in charge of implementing the design and construction project. So basically, it's a live environment that we are targeting to build to address all those questions that usually all utilities have in common. And you want to add anything, Shannon?
It's just, it moves at lightning speed, but sometimes it feels like you're on a turtle.
Right.
But I think we're pretty far ahead, and we're happy to share any information if somebody wants to know that. I think we've learned all the landmines on it, so we're happy, Dr. Sanu, to set up anybody on this that has questions of what not to do and to do. So we offer that up.
So this is the last slide, actually. This is conceptual type things that 0 to 50 year, we don't want to see those rates which are the condition grade 4 to 5, which is worst, poor condition. So based on the funding level, using the condition asset management framework, how can we predict future before we can make decisions for funding level? This is a conceptual, but that's the picture we want to see, and that is what our journey is.
And I would add to this one, this is what we show the upper management. We can't, you can look at it as how much risk you want to take. You keep it at the current level, you see that your risk is, I need $100, but you're going to give me 80. Okay, here's what the risk is. We don't get to make those choices. We can just show them what their decisions, how it infects. And it's up to them to set rates and do anything. But you have a real time that shows if you don't do this or you do that, here's what's going to happen. That's all this is used for. It's very efficient.
Basically, it's a data-centric, our approach, we have taken that approach, data-centric decision-making for the utilities operations and planning, both sides.
Great. So thanks, Sanan and Faisal. This was really great. And that's what it is. I mean, Sanan mentioned that. Sanan also helped us. I should mention that. We had the first workshop in August, calling all academia from utilities and also consultant to talk how we can work as a team or to help basically to the utilities. And especially I'm impressed, Sanan, with the platform you have developed. That's the key, is to have data interoperability issues and all those to one place, so that now you can do a lot of modeling and predictive modeling. Great, thanks. So now we